Okay. Hello, everyone. Your ears have found my voice, and my voice has found you. A light preoccupied by its shadow. And so another day to wonder about the world. So let me see. A light preoccupied by its shadow. The implication of truth distracted by an illusion. All right, guys. I can't find the note. I can't fix the notepad thing. I'll just let it go and just, I guess, vocally use this. Where our attention connects to reality. Okay. So, guys, you can't see it here, but I'm writing a light preoccupied by its shadow. And we can see this relationship of light and the shadow as a type of duality. So this episode is another way of saying one side of the coin is occupied with the... So and you know, in ancient mythology, they have this metaphor of a snake eating its own tail, right? And I think that's an incredible metaphor for time and, in some sense, the nature of duality. You know, it's honestly like we're in a sine wave, meaning that reality is like spiraling. So we can have a truth preoccupied by its illusion. So what it is that pretty much there's two levels to the human being. Levels, okay? We don't actually call it levels, we just call it life, okay? Right? So so what I'm saying is that two levels, two dimensions, okay? You have an outer life. God protect my voice. You have an inner life. Your outer life is about a self in a world. Your inner life is about a world within the self. Do you know, I'm trying to learn to explain things in a way where if I didn't exist, like, the next moment, the content could stand on its own. Okay? So, I mean, this is the reasoning. This is the approach I have. I'm saying pretty much there's a rock in the middle of nowhere, creatures appeared on it. These creatures began to, in some sense, interact with each other. They began developing a system with each other. And then when they came to wonder about reality, they applied that system to the world. So, you know what it is? I'm kind of like, hilariously in my mind trying to assume if an extraterrestrial landed, like if I was walking in the park. I don't have a dog, but if I had a dog and I was walking in the park and an extraterrestrial landed and it's like, yo, what's going on here? Explain human being. First of all, I'd be like, you don't know, you freaking noob. Yeah, I'm joking. Singular objective. Okay, level 1, objective existence. Okay. Objective singular existence. Okay. So everybody starts at level 1. You're born, objective singular existence complete. Okay, you have a customizable character, which you're being, like you're born as your character, and then you interact in the map. And then, so that's the thing. Level 1 is your physical existence. It's singular objective existence. Level 1. Level 2 in life is dualistic subjective experience. This is where our species is at. Okay? Most people, they're not suffering because of physical things. They're not suffering because what they're seeing. They're suffering because they don't know what to do with the one that's looking at reality. Okay, there's two components. One, there's the information that you receive from your sensory perception, and then, you automatically interpret into meaning, right? But then, in some sense, like, I was just thinking, for example, like, the gaming industry is literally the continuation of ancient metaphysics into modernity. Okay, back in the day, people would speak about out-of-body experiences. When you're playing a video game, you're having an out-of-body experience. You're actually outside of a body, administering the body in a way where you can see your own character. So if you look at it, right, video games are depicting consciousness. They're showing you that you access a screen with a character in it, but you're not the character in the screen. You're the one moving it, right? So the mover of life is not life, and this is not just what's the shape of life, and this became an incredible a mystical kind of angle for many human beings. So let's say as a human being, let's say lived level 1. For example, I've ran 31 laps around the sun. So for example, level 1 is so basic to me. You know, doesn't mean it doesn't mean somebody, just because they're existing in the best way, doesn't mean that right? But it just means that when I've looked at existence, I've pretty much been in like, okay, it's an on and off light switch. That's it pretty much. It's either on or it's off. When I sleep, in deep sleep, there is no consciousness, no personality, no sense of self, suffering, having dreams, ambitions, wanting to go to paradise or afraid of hell and all of this, right? In the dream, when we go to deep sleep, in the Islamic context, if I remember correctly, I think there's 3 times where the soul of man is kind of taken. Okay, once it's taken when it's when it dies. Do you understand? One other time it's taken is, I think, at the end time of the apocalypse, and then another time it's taken is during sleep. Okay, 3 ways where in some sense it's like the conscious reality shifts to some, spiritus mysterium, So, level 2 is realizing, okay, so level 1 is realizing that you are an object. That's it, pretty much. Objects are existing. Doesn't matter if it's individual or collective. It doesn't matter if it's a mountain or a pebble. They're both existing. So level 1 is an appreciation, and there is getting certain insights and realizations about existence. For example, a child tripping and then in some sense learning how to walk and all of this, that's in some sense objective level 1 trying to be completed, right? So level 2, usually this is being completed, I think, by the age of 12 to 14, and that's the point where the child, it doesn't mean that the child is an individual, like it has confidence in itself, but that's the point where the child's like, all right, I have a name and I'm somebody, and so that's when it's starting, right? That's when the child is starting to wonder, okay, who am I? Who can I be? Right? So young children start off not being anything, and then accessing information and archetypes, and then being like, which archetype can I be? Right? And then they go throughout life, and eventually either they are forced into positions and archetypal roles, or they're not. Right? And it depends on your reality, right? If you're someone who you're talking to Buddhists and yogis, you're entertaining reincarnation, right? This is why, for example, it doesn't matter if you are whatever class in the economical structure you are, whether you go talk to a yogi or a mystic, they will treat you the same. Why? Because it doesn't matter if in this lifetime you're a king or if you're a peasant, because you have been from long ago till now, right? Our individual self is like our checkpoints in the human realm, but our collective self, our universal self, is how we have been, not memory, like we think it's memories, right? We think that we have memories, or even we have next level scholars like Rupert Sheldrake was talking about morphic fields and morphic resonance, and how like the planet has a memory and all of this. But let me tell you, there is no such thing as a memory. There is a foundational space where truth is kept. So your access to your memories, it's multiple things, that multiple variables are, there's multiple factors in this. Okay, so one factor is what kind of context are you being, and what kind of concept are you being in that context. Okay, so the type of person you are suggests what's happened to you, what's going to happen to you, but also the type of being you are is your greatest strategy to death. Okay, tell me this isn't on mute. All right, we good. This looks good. Okay. Guys, I don't have a wife, but I thought if I had a wife and I told her I'm going to go give a Mr.Within talk, she would have the same facial expression as this girl has in this wallpaper.